Hello everybody, welcome to Gentle Vinyasa Yoga here with Hailey of Sacred Lotus Heart. So welcome to my second studio away from home where we do some of our other virtual classes. So last week we worked on building some of our length and strength in our hips. This week we're going to be working on more of the interior hip issues that we may be dealing with, but also lengthening throughout the outer rib cage, some more of the back. And tonight you will be able to see what several angles will look like in the class. Does anyone have any questions beginning class on what you experienced last week, or anything that you felt needed some adjustment, or you had some questions before we dive into class? If you have a question, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask away. I'll leave that open for a little bit, and if you have a question, go ahead and ask. Otherwise, we'll get started. So does anyone have any questions about what we did last week, or on a modification that you might need? You can also share if there's a specific issue going on in your body, because if there is, then I can give you some tips on how to do your yoga tonight so it works better for you. All right. Doesn't look like anyone has any questions about last week or modifying their practice, which is fine. If you're just joining us and you're wondering why I was waiting, welcome to Gentle Vinyasa Yoga with Hailey of Sacred Lotus Heart. And tonight we're going to be working more on the hips and some more on the spine and the shoulders. To start out with, we are going to be using one of our blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can use a stack of books or a pillow for this. We're going to take our sit bones and put them on the block. So it's best to use the block in our lengthwise or as long as you can for the sit bones to rest. Doesn't matter which foot is in front or in back, we'll adjust that later. So go ahead and sit up on your block. We're going to be doing a little bit of Kundalini to warm up with. It doesn't matter which foot is in front. If your knees don't like to be bent, you can have them more out in front of you with your shins facing the room in front. Rolling the shoulders back, taking the tailbone down and drawing the navel in and up slightly, letting the tailbone go down. Neutral pelvis. And we're going to find that neutral pelvis in just a moment. Before we start any of our movements, I want you to create your sacred yoga space that you're in. Your bubble that is your special place for your yoga right now. One where you can take a deep breath in and breathe out. Let go of all the frustrations, worries, and concerns. Letting go of judgment on yourself, of anything else. Your throat be open. Good. See if you can let your eyes be relaxed most of the class. Stay with your breath, gentle and easy. Drawing the navel closer to the spine as we exhale. Good. Now moving the pelvis. And then the hands come to rest on the thighs or the knees, shoulders rolled back, collarbones are nice and broad. Tailbone goes down and navel in slightly, lengthening the spine. And as we inhale, we're going to let our belly tilt forward, letting the pelvis spill out. Imagine that you have your pelvis full of water and you're spilling it out. And then as you exhale, you tuck the tail, you're scooping it back up, lengthen the arms. Inhale, exhale. You can use your arms Coming in and bending the elbows as the heart and the chest come forward, and exhale, slightly rounding in the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Only go as deep as what feels right to you. Inhale. Exhale. Pause upright. We're going to do a small circle, almost like a hip circle, but it's going to be with our shoulders going to the right, to the back, to the left, and forward. Just a little bit of an isolation, just a little bit. You may not have much of an isolation, that's okay. Unwinding the spine. Big breath in, and exhale as you go back. Pause, go the other way. Good, and pause in the center. Good. Deep breath in. We're going to slowly start to lift the hands all the way up overhead. Big breath in as the hands go up, 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 up. And exhale to one side. Doesn't matter which one right now. Hand goes down, reach, reach, reach. Inhale, up, 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 up. Exhale, over. Inhale, up, 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 up. And then we're gonna go forward. Hands come down, walk those fingertips forward. Tent the hands. Press the fingertips in. Really try to squeeze like a suction cup. Roll the shoulders back. Then slide them forward, sliding down only what works for you. Ears and arms come together. Slide the left hand out to the left side. Big long arm. Slight movements changing in the muscles. Slide the left arm back to the center. We'll do that on the right. You'll feel your tricep activating. Roll it back. Look up at the hands. Walk those hands towards your feet. Slowly coming up, walking the hands to the legs. Shoulders roll back. Whatever leg you have underneath, we're going to switch it out. Or if you have them stacked one in front of the other, just switch out which one is in front. Find where you're comfy. May be different on one side. Wiggle around, make sure you're comfy. All right, hands are going to come all the way up again. Big breath in. Roll the shoulders back and drop them away from the ears. Try to squeeze the hands towards one another. Tailbone down, draw the navel in slightly. Breathing in. And breathing out. Imagine that you're building all kinds of energy, letting it come through your fingertips as you breathe out. Breathing in from the earth. Out through the fingertips. Good. Sway to the right. Right hand comes down. Reach the left arm over. Let that shoulder come up by the ear. Keep pressing the right hand in. Notice that we're not slouching over and we're not leaning forward. We're letting our hips stay in place and then we're reaching over. That's what causes this nice opening effect. But we're not doing it to where the sacrificing of the spine. Our spine is still nice and long. Press the hand in and reach over. You'll feel your breath moving through your upper rib cage. top arm, bring it back to your hip. Press yourself up to the fingertips on the right. Bring your hands to your hip, roll the shoulders back. Take your tailbone down, drawing the navel in slightly and up. Long spine. Shoulders drop away from the ears again. Using the elbows to point out to strengthen and lengthen your triceps, the bottom parts of those arms. Good. Now we're going to go to the other side. Our left hand finds the floor. Lift the right arm all the way up. Again, press that arm in, lengthening, and then let your right arm come over. Tailbone down towards the block. Breathe in and out. Draw your navel in and up. Good. To come out, let that top arm come down. Come to the fingertips of the left and slowly coming out. Shoulders roll back. Take the elbows apart, tailbone down. Relax the forehead. Good. All right. We're going to do a little bit of what we did in the last session, and then we're going to add on to it. We're going to let our left leg unfold out, wiggle the leg, let it open. Point and flex, roll the ankle. We're going to leave the right where it is, toes up on the left, walk your hands forward. Nice long spine. Tent the hands and then spread out those palms. Look down towards the floor. Lengthening the spine, squeezing your thighs, taking tailbone down and drawing the navel in. Shoulders roll back away from the ears. When you're ready, looking up and walking the hands towards your left leg. If you need to come up a little bit more, then go ahead. Walking the navel over the left leg and sliding down. Just what feels good to you. Some of you may not be that open yet, and that's okay. Wiggle your toes. Watch them wiggle. And take your chin towards your sternum if that feels okay. When you're ready, walk your hands towards your hips. Come up. Center. Sit all the way up. Hands on the hips. Tailbone down. And your hip might feel a little pinchy. So now we're going to go to the other way. Navel goes towards that right knee. Start to walk your hands down. Try to keep both sit bones on the block. Left toe still up. Let your head relax. And slowly come up. Help the left leg come back. Let it relax for a minute. Wiggle it side to side with the help of your hand. Good. And then we're going to do the other one. So let both feet come up for a moment. Wiggle both legs, stretch them out. Wiggle around. Bring the left foot in. Flex that left foot a little bit to support the knee joint. Slide out the right leg. And then walk forward. You might have one side that opens up more than the other, and that's fine. Slide down. Let your breath expand. your shoulders roll back and away from the ears. Tailbone down, drawing the navel in and up. When you're ready, look up. Walking the hands over to the right leg. See if you can line up the navel with the center of the leg. Both sit bones try to stay on the block and come down. Again, if you need something underneath your knee, feel free to do that. When you're ready to come up, slowly walk up. Then help that right leg. Move it side to side. Let both legs come out. Just a little bit so that you have a little bit of a bend in your knee. Feet press in. Sitting on that block, and then we're gonna let the belly come down. Tuck the chin a little bit and slide those hands towards the toes. Feel the breath moving along the back. Slowly come back up. Walk your feet wide apart. Just like you're hanging out at a campfire, toes face forward. Let your elbows come on the inside, and we're gonna press the palms together. Roll the shoulders back, nice broad collarbones. Press the feet in, and the shins are gonna go forward. Elbows and the triceps, the back of those arms, you know that flabby part that we're always trying to work on? We're gonna press that into the inner legs. You might have a cramp in your foot like me. You gotta wiggle around a little bit and then place it back down. Press those palms in. Thumbs are gonna aim towards the heart. Big breath into the belly. This is prep work for Goddess. Good. One more big breath. Let your left hand come down towards the floor. Right hand to the right knee. Roll the right shoulder back and slight twist. Inhale, center. Both hands on the knees. Roll the shoulders back. Right hand to the floor, press in. Press the left hand to the left knee, slight twist. Inhale, center, both hands on the knees. Roll the shoulders back. Take the elbows up towards the sky a little bit. Then inhale up. Squeeze the elbows in. Let the hands rest on the shins. Sit up nice and tall. Remember that tilt tuck that we did in our pelvis? We're gonna do it again. Exhale as you tuck. Inhale as you tilt. Use your hands. Just like rowing a boat. One more. Good. And pause. We're gonna let our left knee drift in a little bit. It's okay if you turn on your block with your sit bones, only going what feels right to you. Sitting up nice and tall. Big breath in. Let that leg float up and go the other way. Good job. Inhale, come back up. Let your feet walk out in front a little bit more this time. Wiggle the toes. Point and flex. Scrunch. All right, now we're gonna come off the block. Just slide the block out, put it at the front of the mat for a moment. Move the glutes out of the way and slide out the legs a little bit. Bounce the knees, they've been bent a long time. Toes up. Keep bouncing them until it feels like you're in the right spot. Now, not everyone's going to be at the same ability. I have been practicing since I was 14, so I've got a lot of years on me. So be patient. Toes up, roll the inner thighs towards the center. Maybe move the outer thighs away from the center. Move the glutes out of the way. If you need something underneath those knees, please put it there. I don't expect you to be as far down as I am or where I'm gonna go. I want you to honor you. You can use a block for your head, for your hands. This might be your floor. Make the floor higher, all right? Tailbone goes down, so don't try to duck butt to make yourself go further. Don't try to lead with your heart to make yourself go further. Just sit up nice and tall. Tailbone's down. Feel those sit bones. Toes up. Using your fingertips, we're gonna walk forward. Don't compare yourself to me. I want you to do what feels right to you, okay? If you're already at your max, back off a little bit so you can breathe. I want you to be able to breathe easily. Taking 4 deep breaths here. Squeezing the inner thighs, rolling them in and trying to pull the pinky toes away. Drop the tailbone down and draw the navel towards the spine. When you're ready, look up. Walk your hands back underneath. Sitting up nice and tall. Turning the navel over the left leg, or the best you can. You can use your hands to help you a little bit more. And then exhale down. I'm going to press my hands into the floor to help turn. And come down, using the heels of my hands to press away from my heel. Using my heel to try to press away from my hand. And point the left foot. Flex. Sit back up. Unwind, big breath in. Let's do the other side. Take your time. Come up. Wiggle the legs. Walk them slowly towards each other. The outer hips may be a little achy. Almost walk in place. Roll the ankles. Let your legs relax however they want. They can be in a diamond. They can be in a butterfly. You can even have the blocks underneath the knees if you want. We're only doing that so we can work on our hands a little bit. Wiggle the fingers. Roll the wrists. All kinds of ways. Clasping the hands, push the knuckles forward, rolling the shoulders back, taking the tailbone down. Squeeze those elbows towards each other. All right, now we're gonna push those shoulders forward, pushing the knuckles forward, arching in the back, tailbone down. Inhale, knuckles come up. Exhale to one side. Inhale up. I know it takes a little bit. Exhale to the other side. Let the neck relax. Inhale up. Hands swoop down and just a little forward. If you're in a diamond, you're not going to go far, and that is fine. Be patient with yourself. Let your cervical spine relax. Good. Walk your hands up. We're going to be coming to our hands and knees. If you need more padding for underneath your shins or something underneath your ankles, go ahead and grab a towel or a blanket to do that. Move your blocks. I'm going to actually put my blocks at the front to begin with, but I'm going to alternate side to side. You can choose one side to be your front and you can stay there. I'm just going to be altering side to side for learning purposes for you, okay? So you can face one direction and stay there the whole time. When you're ready, swing your feet around and we're gonna come to tabletop. Wide hands. Remember those big turkey prints that we used to make in school? And you always wanted to have the biggest turkey, so that's what we're doing. We want the biggest turkey you can. The only thing I want you to do is kind of suction cup. See how my palm suction cups in a little bit? That's what we want to do, so that each point of the finger presses in, around the base of the hand presses in, and then we scoop in. That's going to try to line up with our shoulders. Middle fingers point forward. Shins press in, lining up like a box. Roll the shoulders back and squeeze the elbows in towards each other. So a lot of people want to like do this little hunchy thing, or they're already sticking their butt out. We want to have a neutral spine. So as long as we can. All right. And then try to press the triceps, the outside of the arms. Try to press the pinky sides of the arms away while rolling the inner arms towards each other. Just like we do with our legs. Press the shins in, roll the inner thighs towards the back of the room. Draw the navel in. Take the tailbone towards the heels just slightly. Neutral spine, tabletop. Your arms are probably already starting to work. All right, we're gonna inhale, look up. Exhale, lean to the right and slide on down, almost child's pose. And then we're gonna inhale up to this left. Exhale to the right. I call this rolling kitty. There are other names. There's barrel roll, chest roll. I call it rolling kitty. It reminds me of a kitty cat. And you can make this as sultry as you want. You can get into those hips and shoulders the best you want. All right, pause the next time you come up to the front. Swish the hips side to side. Then we're gonna go the other way. Lean to the left. Inhale to the right. Good, and this time we're gonna come down into that child's pose. Let your booty come towards your heels. Walk those hands forward. Press those pinkies, press the tips of the fingers into the floor and let the forehead come down. They're resting on a block or on the floor. And then let the elbows bend and relax. Hands relax. Imagine your breath expanding through your shoulder blades like wings, sliding down the spine and into your sacrum. Your broad triangle-shaped bone at the back of the pelvis expanding and opening. When you're ready, look up, come back into your tabletop, curl your toes underneath, roll the shoulders back, and bring them under. Sliding the left leg long. Scoot the tailbone forward a little bit. Long spine. We're gonna rock forward and back a little bit, opening. If you want to uncurl the right toes, go ahead. Strengthening the arms and opening the back of the leg and the calf. Good, switch legs. Switch the hips. Other side, move your neck up, down, side to side. Let it just relax. Crown of the head goes forward. Slide out the right leg. Forward and back. Good. Back into tabletop. Swish the hips. All right, coming to center, curling both sets of toes. Walk the hands closer to your knees. If you need your blocks with you, bring a block with you, because we're going to come up to the balls of our feet. Shoulders roll back. We're going to press our hands. Again, if you want to use a block, you can press into that block. We're going to start bringing our weight towards the heels by squeezing in our thighs, drawing navel towards the spine, pressing the hands in, rolling towards the heels, rounding the shoulders a little bit, and then come back out. Big breath in. Exhale. Building strength in the arms, opening the calves and through the feet. One more. Good. Walk the fingertips out a little bit more. Your legs might shake a little bit. That's okay. Plant those hands in, and we're going to come into a very small sort of downward facing dog. No judgments. It's going to be small. Mine's going to be small. Okay? So walk those hands out. Squeeze in your thighs. Press the shins towards the floor. You're going to automatically start to roll the shoulders back. Let them move away from the ears, nice and broad. Come up to your tippy toes a little bit more. Squeeze in your thighs. Squeeze ankles towards each other and unbend the legs just a little bit. Press your hands and your booty's going to go over your heels again. Long arms, but try not to hunch the shoulders up by the ears. Let them come back again. Unbend just the left leg. Rebend that left leg and unbend just the right. Odds are you have one leg that's tighter than the other. Shake the head yes, shake the head no. Bend both legs, look up at your blocks and start to walk your hands, kind of like a monkey, up towards your blocks. Roll the shoulders back, squeeze the elbows in just like we've been working on. Take your tailbone towards your knees, press with all your might your hands into the floor, but roll the shoulders back. Unbend just the left, slightly longer downward facing dog. Rebend, unbend just the right. We're working on long spine here. Step the left foot back just a little bit more than the right. Press with all your might, your hands into the mat. Squeeze elbows towards each other. Long spine. Shake the head yes, shake the head no. Inhale, look up. We're going to slide into a small plank, but bend your knees. Now there's a difference between a yoga plank and a plank that you do in your gym or a plank that's in the military. Yoga plank we want nice and long. Workout planks, you got your booty up. We have a different one for alignment. Let your knees come down, child's pose. Roll the wrists. Inhale, look up. Back into your tabletop. Swing the left foot forward. Use your block. Slide them underneath your shoulders. Shoulders roll back. Press the right shin in. Again, you're not going to be completely lined up. That's okay. Bring the tailbone towards your left shin. We just want to make sure our left shin does not go past our front toes. Roll the shoulders back. Sit up nice and tall, squeezing in our thighs. Tailbone flows forward. Hands lift up. Let them float up. Good job. Shoulders roll back. And flow back down to your blocks. Unbend just the left leg. Good, rebend. Slide, step, or swing this left foot back underneath. Switch the hips. We're gonna do the other one. When you're ready, swing or step forward. Roll the shoulders back and take your tailbone forward, scooping. Lining the shin with second and third toe. When it feels like you're in alignment, tailbone down, crown up, lift your hands up. Squeezing arms together. And then slowly coming back down to the blocks, unbending the right leg. Good. Coming back into your tabletop. Now you can leave both blocks up front. I'm going to move one block forward and one block back. I'm going to alternate my movements as we come up. Come into a downward facing dog, and then we're going to come up to standing. Hands press in. Curl the toes underneath, roll the shoulders back, and squeeze the elbows towards each other. Press the shins in towards the floor by drawing the navel in, squeezing inner thighs, hovering the shins. Press with all your might your hands into the mat, but keeping the shoulders away from the ears, and slowly unbending the legs, coming into a downward facing dog that works for you. Then slowly walk your feet up towards your hands. Bend your knees. Forward fold. Knees are bent to come down. Belly meets thighs. Forehead goes towards shin. When you're ready, slowly unbend your knees. You can hug your legs if you'd like. Bringing the weight over your heels, then over the balls of your feet and finding the center. Rolling in your thighs towards the back of the room. To come out of that, bend your knees, let your hands go. Hands slide to the knees. Inhale, coming up. Chair pose. Reach those arms forward, squeeze an imaginary ball. Tailbone goes down, push the shins forward. We're gonna stand all the way up. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, swan dive. Forward fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, chair. Inhale, stand all the way. Swan dive. Inhale, chair. Tadasana, mountain pose. Shoulders roll back, tailbone down, drawing the navel in. Good. Now we're going to step to the wide side of the mat. This is where I'm going to go both directions for teaching purposes, but you can choose one side and stick with that. Okay? So here is my middle. This is the middle of the mat, standing in Tadasana. Shoulders roll back, tailbone down, drawing the navel in. All right. Gonna step both feet out a step, both directions. Toes facing forward, tailbone down, draw your navel in a little bit. Maybe even put one hand on your sacrum, that's the back triangle of your pelvis. One just around the navel. Tilt, tuck a little bit, and then find a medium where it feels like they're almost parallel to each other. Inner thighs roll in and back. Tailbone goes down. Arms are going to come all the way up. We're going to swoop the hands all the way up. Take your time. Shoulders stay back. Squeezing an imaginary ball, and we're gonna exhale, hinge to one side, plant those feet in, tailbone down. Chin to sternum just a little bit. Squeeze inner thighs, press the feet in, inhale up. Exhale to the other side. Engage midline, inhale up. Swan dive, forward fold. Squeeze inner thighs, try to pull the feet away. Again, wing your arms behind you. The arms come down. Doesn't matter where they rest, they can be on your legs, they don't have to be on the floor. Letting the head hang, shake it out. Slide the hands up to the knees, bend the knees a little bit, take shins towards second and third toe, roll the shoulders back, inhale, look up, and slowly come back up. Tailbone drops down like an anchor. We're going to start here in this pose before coming into our warrior twos. We're going to break down how to do our warrior twos in a more effective way for your spine, your hips, and your leg position. Place your hands on your hips. Feel those sticky outy hip bones in the front and your SI joints, the round bulbous points at the back of your pelvis. All right, put your hands there. That's some of the best ways. You can use it on your waist too, but on your hip points. And we're going to just tick-tock our hips, so drop one hip down and lift the other. You may not have the same range of motion as I do, and that's fine. Don't judge yourself. Come back to the center and drop. Feel that changes inner versus outer leg. At the beginning of class, you may have had a harder time. We've worked a lot on these two sections. All right, so feel how that's different. Now pause, bring your belly in a little bit, but where you can still breathe. Tailbone drops down. Bring your hands just to the outsides of the hip points. Squeeze the inner thighs and then relax them. Feel that slight engagement. Draw your navel in. It's just going to be a slight engagement underneath your hands. All right, we're going to feel it even more. Point your right toes towards the shorter side of the mat. Taking the middle of the knee or the shins towards second and third toes, you bend the knee, but your weight's going to stay back here by your back heel, by the center of the mat. All right, tailbone's going down. Feel those hip points again. Feel that muscle, squeeze inner thighs, and then release. Feel that slightly underneath your hands. Now we're going to look at your back leg. It's going to be your left leg. We're going to kick that left heel towards the back right corner of the mat so that you can roll this inner thigh towards the back of the room. Tailbone has to come back down again. See how my hip wanted to try to go up with it? Wanted to be like this? We want that to come down so our hips are almost parallel to the floor. Now you may have a knee wanting to collapse in or go out and roll to the outside of the foot. What we want to try to do is always line up the middle of your shin with second and third toe. Squeezing inner thighs and trying to push the feet away. Rolling that back inner thigh back, tailbone down. Hands on the hips again. Point your elbows to either short side of the mat. Then we're going to let go of our shoulder or of our hips. Undo the elbows. Palms are going to roll out. Take the pinky side and wing them back. Drop the shoulders down. And we're going to look over the middle right fingers. This is a short warrior two. For some of you, it might feel long, and that's okay. Compassionate warrior, squeeze inner thighs, push the feet away. Side angle, bend the right arm. Let your left hand come to the left hip. We're going to tip over like a teapot, pouring out tea, but nice long spine. We're not curving. Then turn the right palm up. Bring that hand or arm somewhere on that knee. Try to drag that elbow to the outside. Then we're going to take our sternum and our belly button and we're going to lift it up towards the sky. Left arm comes up and reaches over the body. Side angle. Good. Bring that left hand to the left hip. Right hand slides to the thigh. Help yourself up. Turn both feet to face forward or the long side of the mat. Shift the hips side to side. Feel the difference? All right. Other side. Left foot pivots out. Take that shin towards second and third toe. Back thigh. The inner thigh is going to roll into the center and back. So I'm going to place my hand there so you can see that action. See how my booty wanted to kick out? Drop the tailbone back down. Draw your navel slightly in. And we're trying to stack our shoulders over our hips over our legs. So some people might be hinging forward. Some people might be hinging back. We want to try to stack things. All right, look at your legs, line them up. Kick your heel out. Now I'm coming a little deeper now on this side. Do what feels right for you. This leg wants to open up more for me because we've already worked on it. Squeezing inner thighs, trying to press the feet away. All right, we're gonna come into our warrior two. Open up your arms. Swing the pinky sides of your arms back, shoulders roll down, and look over your left middle fingers. Big belly breath, compassionate warrior. Feel the earth's energy coming up through your body and out through your fingertips. All right, side angle. Bend the left hand and elbow. We're gonna tip over. Again, long spine, find your position. This time, bring your right hand and wrap around your rib cage. Give yourself a hug, and we're gonna draw that heart up towards the sky, and then let the arm float up. Again, we want the shoulder and arm to line up. We don't want it cranking back. We don't want it cranking forward. Wherever it can line up with the shoulder as if it's on a string. Press the left hand in, squeeze inner thighs. Twisting that rib cage, but lining everything up. Then reach over with the right arm up and over the head. Good, slide your hands to your hips. Left hand to the thigh, help yourself up. Turn your toes towards the long side of the mat. You may have come wider. Tuck the hips. All right, we're gonna come into a forward fold here. Slow forward fold. Put your hands on those hips, feel it. Squeeze inner thighs, roll the shoulders back, wing the elbows to the side. Only to what feels right in your forward fold. Inhale up, squeeze inner thighs, press the feet away from each other. Slowly hinge up. Use your legs if you need to with your hands. Good. All right, we're gonna go back and forth into our warriors and our side angles. We're gonna go back and forth, back and forth. We're gonna add a forward fold and a little bit more stepping. All right, our right foot turns, come into your warrior two. Kick your heel out, roll your inner thighs, line up your shins. Side angle. Inhale, warrior two, flow right back in. Unbend the legs, pivot the right foot to face forward, left foot faces forward. Now we're gonna go directly to the other side. Warrior two. Side angle. Inhale, warrior two. This time we're not going to take time in between. Unbend, pivot, go to the other. Side angle. Warrior two and flow right into the other side. Good, we're gonna pause up here. 5-point star, swan dive, forward fold. Maybe your hands are on the ground, maybe not. That's okay. If you need a block, slide the block closer. All right, inhale, look up. We're gonna walk our hands towards our left foot. We're gonna point both sets of feet towards the left. We're gonna come right into a runner's lunge. Place your hands on the mat. We're gonna step or swing your left foot back into a downward facing dog. Take your time. Remember, set yourself up first. Shoulders roll back, squeeze inner thighs. And come up into your downward facing dog. Heels might not reach the floor, and that's okay. Roll the inner thighs towards each other and back. Roll the inner arms towards each other and back. Nice long spine. That's the key. Not how long you can make your legs. Bend your knees. Inhale, look forward, come into plank. Drop your shins down, child's pose. Inhale back up, almost like a plank, but on your knees. Shoulders roll back and slowly lower it down. Bend your elbows, just like we did last week. Shoulders roll back, halfway down. Inhale, come up. All right, right into plank. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Bend your knees. Look up at your hands. We're gonna step that left foot up in between the hands. You can do one or many steps. Into your runner's lunge. Walk your hands to the center. Pivot your feet towards the long side of the mat. Good job. We're gonna do the other side. So start to pivot your feet. Start to walk to the right. Coming into a runner's lunge, you can use your blocks. All right, swing or step your right foot back. I'm more almost like in a lizard on this side. Take your time, set up for downward facing dog. Walk in place if you need, do anything you need to do. Roll the shoulders back, squeeze inner arms, bend your knees, back into your downward facing dog. Unbend the legs, shake your head side to side slowly. Shake it, yes. Inhale, look up, coming into that plank. You can either do with your knees on the floor or not. Slowly lower down. Come all the way down. Legs, chest, rest. Squeeze the inner thighs, point the toes. Tailbone goes towards the heels. Roll the shoulders back and slight lift. We're not going to come all the way up into cobra, just a little bit. Tailbone towards the heels. Don't let the tops of the feet leave. Roll the shoulders back. Squeeze those elbows into the ribs. Good. Bend the knees. Let the toes come up. Tailbone towards the knees. Let them come down. Press your hands in. We're going to come up and child's pose. Walk your hands closer to your knees. Bring your booty over your heels. When you're ready, look up. Grab one of your blocks. We're gonna sit on your block, let your legs open. Bring the block in between for that mild hero like we did before. Squeeze the legs in, tailbone down, roll the shoulders back. Again, if you need blocks underneath your calves or a stack of blocks, do a stack of blocks. There's nothing wrong with that. I want you to do what feels right for you. Knees try to go towards the floor of the mat. A lot of us want to try to rock up. We're going to press in, roll the shoulders back and down. You can take your second block and place it behind you if you want. Inhale, one arm up, roll it back, and fingertips face away. Other hand. Tailbone scoops towards the knees and then turn the palms
so that the fingertips face the booty. Shoulders roll back, squeeze the inner arms towards each other. Press the shins in and slight lift of the hips. Tailbone goes towards the knees. If you want to come up higher, if you know you've done yoga before and you know you can, shins into the floor, tailbone towards the knees. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Draw your navel in. And then slowly lower by bending knees and arms together. Starting to sit back up into your hero. And child's pose, slide those hands down and out. You ready to look up? Look your hands underneath. We're going to come back to seated. Move your blocks out of the way. And this is where we're going to grab our strap. You can use your hand if you want, but it's going to be easier with the strap. Come down, feet on the floor. Walk the fingertips further towards your heels. The back of the arms press into the mat. Wide turkey fingers press in. Shoulders roll back, squeeze them together. Press the feet in, push the shins forward, scoop the tailbone towards the knees, and if you want, come into bridge. Inhale, lifting up. And slowly coming down, the part underneath your shoulders comes down first, then underneath the belly button. Last are the hips, tailbone still going towards the knees. Relax, let your arms come up overhead. Let them relax. Draw the left knee into the heart and hold it. Toe, heel, slide the right leg long. Point the toes. Draw the navel in. Tailbone follows the right toes. Flex. Unbend the left leg, holding the thigh. Roll that ankle. Let the left hip try to come down. Roll the ankle the other way. Wheel the toes. Point and flex. Grab your strap. We're going to lasso that left leg. Go for the foot. The ball of the foot. Strap comes into the right hand. Left hand comes to left hip. We're going to guide that left hip down and then towards the foot of the mat, flexing the left foot. Slowly come over. If this is too intense, you can slide the right foot back underneath the knee. So begin here and then slide your leg back out. Take your left leg over to the side, but we're not letting our hips leave the floor. Hips stay on the floor. Big breath in and out. Maybe you draw the leg a little closer to your right shoulder, maybe. All right, let that leg come to center. Slide your right foot back underneath the knee. Bend your left knee. Let that left ankle come to the right knee. We're going to come into supine pigeon. Leg relaxes. Using strapper hands, inhale, lift the leg and bring it in. Holding the leg, you can take one hand through the eye of the legs if you want. Shoulders relax. Tailbone down. Big belly breaths. You can rock your hips side to side. Good. Let both legs come down. Other side, draw the right knee in, hold that leg in and slide the left leg long. Take your time. Point, flex. Unbend the right. Roll the ankle. Roll it the other way. Wiggle the toes. Grab your strap if you want. You can bring the left foot underneath the knee already. Strap is going to come into the left arm. Right hand goes to the right hip. Draw that hip down and then towards the foot of the mat. Flex this right foot. Try to pull the pinky side a little closer to you and let the leg go over a little bit. Big breaths in and out. Starting to let yourself melt into your space, preparing for Shavasana. All right, we're going to come into that supine pigeon. If your left leg isn't already underneath the knee, slide it up. Let this right ankle come to the left knee. Your strap can go off to the side for right now. Prepare for supine pigeon, either using your strap or your hands. Inhale up. Exhale in, let your shoulders relax. Tailbone towards the floor. Slight squeeze of the inner thighs. Winding down. Listening to the gentle, soft music as it repeats for the next about 10 minutes. Letting yourself relax. Maybe you rock side to side a little bit. And then we let both feet come down to the floor. Walk the feet out nice and wide. Toes face in, let the knees drift towards each other a little bit. Arms swoop out to T position, palms face down. We're going to let our knees start to drift to the left. Let your feet stay where they are, but pivot the left foot, the face to the left side with the toes. Tailbone goes down towards the foot of the mat. Squeeze in your thighs a little bit. Return to the middle. Turn your toes to face the right. Tailbone goes towards the foot of the mat. Good. Pivot back to the center. Shavasana, corpse pose. You can be in a 5-star, letting your legs come down if you want. Maybe you walk your feet a little closer. For some people, they need to walk their arms closer to their legs a little bit and then turn your palms up, squeezing the shoulder blades in, because a lot of people don't get that chance to really walk those shoulders away from the ears. And this is a time to do that. You can even take opposite hands on opposing shoulders and just press them down a little bit. Feel that slight weighted comfort. Wiggle around, find your Shavasana that feels good to you. Put something underneath your knees if you want. Shavasana is where we integrate everything that we've been doing. Letting your forehead and your chin be parallel to the ceiling. If you tend to have anxieties, you may need to roll to your side. But for most people, this is going to be comfortable. Let your eyes close. Imagine your throat opening and relaxing. Listening to the calm, quiet music. It's going to be repeating for a while. Feel the belly rise and fall. Let the eyes rest heavy in their sockets. Support of the earth cradling you, the comfort of the sky comforting. All worries and concerns melt away. feeling safe and secure. Feeling your breath move through the chakras, through the root, red, near the base of the spine. For you to feel supported and connected to community. And up into the orange section of the sacral chakra within the hips, are balancers of life and body. Breathing up and into the belly area, the solar plexus, yellow, motivation and drive. Up into the heart, green, sometimes pink and gold. Compassion outwardly and inwardly for ourselves and for others. Throat chakra, blue, speaking your truths. Third eye, nestled between the brows, shades of purple, connecting to our intuitive insights and abilities. And the crown chakra, hues of purple, white, and gold, our connection to the universe, everything that is. Maybe you accept and allow unconditional love, light, healing, and support from the universe, from the life force that cascades down and around you. Into every pore as you breathe in and out. Breathing in and out. Slowly from wherever you are, start to bring yourself back into your physical body. Slowly drifting back. Feeling the contact points of the body on the earth. Feeling the breath as it moves in and out of the body. Feeling the heaviness and the light weight, magical feeling of the body. Registering what toes are and start to wiggle them. Registering what fingers are and starting to wiggle them. Noticing what your nose is, as you scrunch the nose and make funny faces. Yawning and stretching like waking up from a really good nap. Checking in with your body. We're going to prepare to come to a side. Slide your feet up underneath your knees if they're not already there. Let your hands come down if you took them up overhead. Slowly rolling to one of your sides. Most people in the evening find the right side to be the most comforting, but everybody has different health issues and different reasons why they may not. Roll over. Taking your time.
walking yourself back up to a comfortable seated position. Take your time. Your eyes might close and open, close and open. If you want to sit on your block, sit on your block. Sit whatever feels comfortable, wiggle around. Shoulders roll back. Tailbone drops down. Relax the forehead. The music's going to get a little bit more invigorating in a little bit, letting yourself wake back up from your Shavasana. Feel the breath coming in and out of the belly. Big breaths in and out. Bring one hand over the navel on the belly and the other hand over the heart. Breathing into the belly. Into the heart. Breathing out through the belly, out through the chest, in and out. Letting the eyes be closed, draw your hands together and rub the hands. We're going to cup the eyes, bringing the heels of the hands to the cheekbones and gently cupping over the eyes. Letting your warmth, your energy and chi come in. Relaxing the eyes even more. Moving the eyes up and down in their sockets. Side to side. Round and round. Then the other way. Let them relax in the center. Keeping your hands over the eyes, slowly begin to open the eyes. Blink them open and close. We're going to keep watching the center of the hands as you slowly lower the hands. Pull them directly out in front. And the eyes slowly adjust to light and focus. As you slowly let the eyes adjust, I invite you to put any hopes, dreams, manifestations, intentions into your palms as you watch them come into full view. These intentions can be for you, loved ones, community, the world, the universes. Fill them up. And then holding them softly in Andala Mudra, prayer hands, bring it to your heart, letting it shine out to the universe, being heard. If there is an affirmation or a closing that you like to say to yourself, go ahead and do that now. Maybe there's a saying that helps you feel calm and centered. If you'd like to join me in the closing of Om, 3 Shantis and a Namaste, you may. Om being the sound and frequency of the universe, of outer space. Amen and Shalom are derivatives of Om, an O-M sound. You may have seen the symbols. It kind of looks like a 3 and some squiggles next to it. Shanti means peace in Sanskrit. Said 3 times connects you to your own inner divine peace, to everyone and everything. Shanti. Namaste, the light within me honors the light within you, or my soul honors your soul. You may join with me if you so choose. Taking a deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste.
yourself continue to come back.
Thank you for joining me for Gentle Vinyasa Yoga. Again, my name is Hailey Hinson of Sacred Lotus Heart. This was Lamont, our little helper off and on today. Remember, if you ever want to ask any other questions privately, or you want to learn more about other classes, other healing modalities, about your chakras, anything like that, remember you can contact me with my website, sacredlotusheart.com. You can also follow me on lots of different social medias, Facebook, Insta, Snapchat, YouTube. I have a channel on YouTube under Sacred Lotus Heart. And there you'll find videos like this one, chair yoga, Tai Chi, meditation, and healing things. So if you want to ask something tonight though, I'm going to go ahead and make that available where you can unmute, or you can put it in the chat box and I'll see it and I can answer now, whether that's about something we did tonight, last week, or a modification that you would like to learn, or on props. Ask away, and otherwise you can let me know later if you want to find me on social media. Thank you, or email me. So also, thank you to Aspen and Cook Library for providing these classes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember to always look up even more classes on their website. Oh, I am so glad you guys are liking class. Namaste to you as well. Does anyone have any questions about today's session last time, or your own practice or a modification that you'd like to go after or to learn more about? You can put that in the chat here and I will see that, or you can unmute yourself and I'll hear you in my bud. Does anyone have any questions? Oh, I'm so glad you guys are liking this class. And there's no stupid questions, seriously. Odds are somebody else has the exact same question, is not brave enough to ask yet. So please ask if you have a question. That's why I'm here. That's why you're doing a live class instead of just popping in a DVD. So I'm here to try to help with that. I'm glad you like the camera angles. This is my other studio that we do some of the other library classes at. I do some at my house and some here. I have a great friend, Chuck Swan of Swan Studios, who this is his business. This is what he does. He helps people like me bring classes and events to you. So, hey, you got a gig? Look up Swan Studios. Maybe he can hook you up. So, does anyone have any questions about tonight's class, or modifications? Like, is there something that we were doing that didn't work, didn't feel right today or last time? It's okay if you don't have questions. You can always email me. You can always contact me outside of class. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, good, you found blocks at Home Goods. Didn't even know to look at Home Goods. I did have a student tell me that. One of my healing students who has learned Reiki and other stuff from me, we were talking about, she's finally starting to become one of my yoga students, and she was telling me, we had this full long discussion about TJ Maxx versus Home Goods and about yoga mats. So I should have remembered that. Didn't even occur. Thank you. So you can find yoga gear at Home Goods. Oh, Walmart. Oh, here we go. Vernon Hills Walmart. $4 each for yoga mat. So are they the thick blocks like this, or are they the thin ones like I had last week? Where are they the thick or thin? And are they foam? Always look into thinnish and foam. Okay, so they're probably the slightly thinner ones, which there is not a problem with. $5.99 at Home Goods, thick and foam. So there you go. If you want the thick one, go to Home Goods. If you want the thin ones, go to Walmart. Athletica brand, those are good. I've liked those. They hold up pretty well. Was there another question?
Yes, Michelle asks, where is your studio located? I don't know which one she means.
Which studio are you talking about when you're asking which studio? I don't have a physical studio that I teach live classes. What I mean is film studio. So the one is up here in Bristol. I help do photo and video stuff for my friend who has Swan Studios, and he's kind enough through the pandemic to help me do some different camera angles and figure out a different way of teaching. And then I also teach at home, which was the studio that you saw last week. So we'll be rotating through different things. When I know that there are certain things that would be really good at 2 different camera angles for teaching, we'll do it here. And then some of them will be at my house. So we'll go back and forth. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. But yeah. Anyone else have any other questions about anything we've been talking about? All right. If you are looking for yoga mats, I know those are probably some of the easiest things to find are yoga mats. There are different thicknesses, so if you are wanting to learn about the different thicknesses, go ahead and let me know. The one I have here is one of the basic ones. This is actually a Gaiam. This is what you probably find at Walmart, Target, even TJ Maxx, Home Goods, all those places. This is what they would call the standard. It's about, what, 1/4 of an inch, I think, foam. This is not my favorite go-to mat. This is one that I leave here at this studio. There's nothing wrong with it, but it is not eco-friendly if you're into eco-friendly. This one is made from different types of rubber and stuff, but it is fake. It is great for sticky though. I have a lot of these for when I used to teach outdoor classes. There are other brands that have where they're grippy on one side and not so much on the other and are more eco-friendly. They roll up differently, they feel differently. There's really thin and there's really thick. The only thing I advise, because I'm on carpet right now with a squishy mat, and it's great when you're beginning and if you have ouchy joints. But as you start to learn more in your yoga practice, you're gonna want a firmer floor. Not all the time, it's great to learn how to practice on all kinds of flooring. Outside, sand, rocks. Traditionally, you didn't use a mat, you used a rug or you didn't use anything. You just did your yoga. So sometimes the thicker the mat can be great when you're beginning or you have an ouchy joint or something, but as you start to work on sturdiness and your alignment, you may want to have something thinner. My soul mat is from Manduka, and they have an eco line, so it's made from natural rubber. And the mat I have, I probably should retire, but you saw me on it at the last class. I love that mat. I've had it for well over 6 years, and it was a little stinky at the beginning, but I had to air it out. It is on the pricier end, but I knew I was going to be doing my yoga teacher training, and I was going to continue teaching, so I needed something that's going to last a long time. I could just hose off or clean with witch hazel. And it's lasted a long time. It's just now really starting to show its wear and tear. And it's a little thinner than this one. There are yoga towels you're gonna find. That's if you sweat a lot. It's not really going to increase your yoga ability. It's more for like hot yoga and if you get really sweaty, or if you're gonna do it on the beach and you don't want a really thick mat and you want something to flip and be able to get the sand off, that would be great. So I know we had some, I had some emails about yoga mats, so that's why I wanted to go over that. There are different thicknesses. Go by your best judgment. Maybe you have a couple different yoga mats, depending on what you're feeling like that day. So you'll find some that have lines on them, and that's for alignment. So that like when we do our warriors, you know where to put your legs, and some of them even say what they are. There are some that have sacred geometry on them, affirmations. Do what works for you, okay? All right. Doesn't look like we have any other questions this evening. Feel free to email me just like you have been, or find me on social media. It was lovely having you on class tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great evening, and I'll see you next week. Namaste.